Hello everyone and welcome back to the Fire Emblem Path of Radiance Footlock playthrough. In this part we're going to take care of the base for the Feral Frontier. Let's get started. I wonder if the medallion that's in there that looks very similar to Mist's medallion is Leiron's medallion. I guess we'll find out. Meanwhile, Castle Kilvis. Interesting. Welcome Prince Rayson. Interesting. Nialucci. He looks quite old, but he also seems quite nice. I think he's the more sensible of the two, if you're asking me between him and Naysala. Meanwhile, he's definitely being nice. You can talk ancient history later. Is that true? Rayson and Nialucci... Rayson's not that old, to be fair. So, Prince, what is this about? And you're curious about the meeting. Why provoke Tabarn? Tabarn is my father's guardian, so... who knows? Trusted old companion with the new protector instead. Interesting. Then again, Naysala does know where his allegiances lie, even if he is going to be quite the backstabber here in a minute. Interesting. He's changed. Indeed. To protect an entire country is an understatement. Meanwhile, Duke Tanis, aka Oliver, and his rotund body. And what if it were? Interesting. Oliver has always been quite the greedy one and loves beauty. Then again, I think he's also the maddest of all of the all of the dukes in the Benyon Senate, at least right now. Then again, if you know how to manipulate a person, you can make it work. Anywho. And give us another job. This is interesting. Well, they have plans and paperwork at every little thing, and their speech is as confusing as it is tedious, for sure. But that's politics. Choose your words delicately and try to please everybody, while everybody also tries to stab you in the back. All of them have been nice and friendly, so they're easy to talk to. Perhaps it's unique to the Bjork class system. And yeah, Lindsay is a special case, but maybe that's why she's different. Meanwhile, Ike thinks he'll never get accustomed to Bjork class systems. Meanwhile, we got a nice 10,000 gold from the last chapter. Braum was our MVP and Makalov is our new ally. And that concludes the report. Now, I'm going to get started with supports first, just to see if there's any. Braum and Zahark both have supports with Boyd and such. But for now, Zahark, I'm actually waiting to get his support conversation with Ileana, so need to wait a little bit longer for that. But in the meantime, Braum and Boyd together, as I want these two to definitely go together. If it isn't the Imprisoned Papa, I'm Boyd, one of the original Grail mercenaries. Meanwhile, he's pretty young, pretty swell, and talks pretty well. Wow, Boyd, you're kind calling him a fatty. I could be a trouble during a big battle, but it served him well. After all, you need a lot of girth to manage it. A mule and a plow, that is for sure. And yeah, he's a farmer. Meanwhile, he thinks it might be a big burden now. Gosh darn it, Boyd. Look at you. And he'll help him get into shape in no time. And yeah, his wife would be very surprised. That's being a bit rude. Ooh, Rhys and Rolf can talk again. Let's get that out of the way too. Huh. Curious if he's sick. Meanwhile, his hands. Don't take those off. They're cold. Cold as ice. And, wow, Rolf seems to be wanting to take care of Rhys pretty well. You're talking about the battlefield, Rhys, not some fort. Don't pretend you're fine if you're not. You'll end up dead if you keep doing stuff like that, which is very true. Meanwhile, Rhys always wishes he wasn't so frail and that he could be strong. Meanwhile, yeah, that's true, but isn't that what Restore's for, considering they can heal up poisons? I'm not sure. It's one of those things that I've always found it to be a bit of a plot hole. But that's just me. At least you can keep an eye on him. Well, that's sweet. The only other character I'm really aptly curious in is Braum and Nephany together. Nephany's going to be a little while before I get her support partner, so I actually want to keep her and Braum together for the time being, just as side support for Braum. Meanwhile, they're both from the same village, so it's nice. And they can speak to each other freely. The boys are triplets and they all just turned 6 years old. Jeez. Yep. Ma chews him out every day. What about you, Braum? His kids are a bit older. Oh, he's quite the father. Don't worry about it. I'm sure they're okay. I'd love to do Zihark's support, but for now, I can't exactly get away with that. In the meantime, let's start with Makalov on our long list of supports. Or, I should say, info conversations. And Ike is about to literally get out and shoot Makalov. 5 jobs or so. Time to visit the local inns and see what games you have. Did you happen to hear any of that? You're talking out loudly. The peddlers you were with, you were in debt to them. Yep. We took on that. When you took that group, that debt vanished. Tremendous help. Come on now. You believe the world is as forgiving as that, or are we so foolish? Debts are debts, and you have many. The peddlers weren't the only people who you owned coin to. Oh boy. And they kept counting the company day in and day out. And yep, they repaid all of Makalov's debts. That's you, my friend, are now in our debts. You fight to pay the Grail mercenaries. Payment will be deducted from your wages for quite some time. It seems that you're working for free, friend. Until your debts are completely paid, don't even think about leaving the company or getting sick. That is a very, very harsh statement, but very true as well. And yeah, just like Marcia, nuts. Next up, Sigrun. Preparations are underway, and they're ready to leave within an hour. And we're going to Grand Desert. The desert, eh? Choosing your companions with care. Large patch of soil. Unlike soil, you'll not find solid earth near the surface. Those on foot and horseback might find it more difficult to move around. More so horseback than anything else. I'm sure Soren knows about these things, but that's something befallen Master Soren? Huh, Sigrun is quite nice. All started when they arrived in Benyon, eh? Be that as it may, you have some information. Could you tell him more? Meanwhile, there's little water in the desert, and few trees or grass grow there. So there's little terrain. Yep. If you guys like your terrain, there's not much in the desert. But there are some exceptions. Magic users, staff wielders. Specifically, if you're using Mist, if she's unpromoted, she won't be affected by the terrain, but if she is promoted, she will be affected by the terrain and actually drastically slow down her movement. And thieves. Thieves don't suffer the same penalty, but they do suffer a penalty in the sand. These are agile, I understand why they are unaffected, but those skilled in the magical arts, that doesn't make a lot of sense. And he claimed that spirits he employed flew before him and cleared the sand for his path. However, she's not sure how true that is, and Prime Minister Sephiran is apparently the person who told that. And who knows? He tends to be very amusing. Anywho, others who are unaffected, people who can fly, not surprising, and Laguz are also not as affected by the terrain features in either form, although they're slowed a little bit. Interesting. Almost everyone here says subhumans, so it's a little bit odd that she says Laguz instead of the alternative, but Bjork and Laguz are living things. Equally created and blessed by the goddess. Interesting. And it's very deplorable. I'm one of the most I must be of noble birth to serve the goddess. Interesting. We're half-praised fools who can speak the truth. You seem quite honest. I'll take that as a compliment. Oh, and one last thing, which is remnants of a lost civilization, and their treasures from those times beneath the shifting sands. You might be able to come across things. That was 3 different hints all at once, referring to which units are not as badly affected by the desert terrain, hidden items in the sand, and a very big and a lot of fun dialogue with Sigrun, or Sigrun, however it's pronounced. I'm probably gonna say Sigrun from here on out. Anywho, your condolences for the country falling. To the splendor of Benyon, the grandest of all nations in Tellius, and we're traveling to the Grand Desert with people known as the Zunanma. Blah, you'll have to excuse me. A civilization that predates our own, eh? Beings that started it all. It'll be a picnic. But a word of caution: studying the runes from afar, it'd be advised to keep your distance for safety's sake. There's a bandit stronghold near the northwest ruins, and strange figures walking around the dunes in the northeast. Be careful. That is a very cryptic hint to something I'll be showing off since I'm regularly using Leth. But in the meantime, that's all the info conversations and all the support conversations taken care of for the time being. Now to hand out bonus experience. As said last time, I'm going to catch Braum up a level, and then I'm going to definitely get you up, and then I might save the last bonus experience level, but we shall see. If not, I'll probably hand it out to somebody like Nephany or even Ileana. In the meantime, I'll see you back here in just a bit. Very nicely done, Braum. Okay, that's acceptable. What I'm gonna do for Ileana, since her magic hasn't quite grown the way I was hoping it would, is... where is it? The spirit dust I got with Marsha last time is going to be used on her. I'm done handing out bonus experience too. I should have mentioned that. But yeah, so that's on Ileana. If I didn't know Ileana's growth rates, I'd say that she's gonna cap her skill very easily. But there's a chance that she pooches it once she promotes. It's a low one, but there is. And next up, as said earlier, Master Seal. Rhys, let's promote, buddy. Class change. You are no longer just a priest. You instead are about to change into a bishop. And grand promotion of Rhys. I will admit, I do enjoy him as a bishop. That model is pretty cool looking. And yeah, his speed goes up, defense still helping him out. And that's that. I'm gonna put the torch in the convoy. I might get some use later. Heal. And I want to take out the light tome. For the time being, I'm going to keep on the heal staff since I don't have much else, and Rhys is probably just going to be here at ship. In the meantime, Vantage, into the convoy. Makalov, anything you have, give it all into the convoy. Gautry, probably should have done that earlier. And let's see. That Laguz stone is going to be very essential for this chapter. After this chapter, I'm probably going to be like hopping Leth's items a bit and trying to give her as much bonus experience levels as possible. Especially since this chapter introduces us to one of my favorite mechanics. Rhys is the first promoted character, and I think... Whoop, not that button. Manage skills. One of the important ones I want to do, before I forget. Vantage. Especially since if I put her in Wrath range, I want to absolutely make sure that she has Vantage on, so that way she can just counter before the enemy can. As far as other things go, I guess I can start looking around. I have a very specific skill set in mind for you, Boyd, and people will probably get mad at me. But for now, let's see. I don't need both iron axes, that's for sure. I probably have way more than enough axes in this, in all honesty. Ileana, speaking of which, put the unused... put the Elf Undertone... Yeah, I'll put the Elf Undertone back. What I'm going to do for this chapter, since I don't have her tome rank very high, I'm going to forge a Wind Tome. I'm going to give it a high amount of attack. How expensive is this thing? Jeez. Apparently wind is one of the most expensive tomes to forge. I'm just going to give it 5 might, I guess? I don't know. I was kind of hoping it'd be cheaper than that. 4 puts it at Elwind, and that's where I'm going to stop, considering I don't want to burn through too much money. I'm just going to call it Light Breeze, if I can. No, I'm just going to call it Breeze. Just because, yeah, I was expecting this to, I was expecting to be able to get more bang for my buck. Blah. E, and then we have the Breeze. Put that on Ileana. This is basically fighting all Laguz, so keep that in mind. I'm going to actually put the Slim Lance back and put in the Laguz Lance. And for Rolf, if he has the weapon rank for it, probably not, considering what I just found out last chapter. Well, actually, I probably should keep the longbow, but I'm going to put the steel bow back. Laguz bow and longbow. Can Royd actually equip the Laguz bow? I guess, yeah, he got a weapon level up last chapter. Never mind. Also, since his strength didn't go up as I was hoping for, the energy drop is going to him for sure. I'm going to save the secret book for a little bit later, as I remember that there is one character I'd actually like to use the secret book on, just to help them get extra stats. But if there's nothing else, the Laguz Slayer is almost gone. Let's see, is there anything else? No. Let's sell off the red gem and then we'll go from there. Let's see, where's the red gem? Here we are. Sell. And I might just sell off some items that are not looking very full of uses, except for the Laguz Slayer. Let's see, is there anything else low on uses? Not quite yet. I'll sell the 17-use Iron Axe. And yeah. Boyd, let's see. I'll give you the more filled Iron Axe. And for the time being, I'll leave you with the Iron Bow. Save the chip. Save, and then let's head out. Okay. Now for the desert chapter. Are you alright, Soren? You seem depressed. Interesting. The way that it replicates a sandstorm is a little bit weird. Something's going on. But that's for sure. Looks like we're being met by people. We have somebody in a hood who looks like a generic enemy mage if I didn't know any better. More of the senator's dogs, eh? Time to pay for our crimes, or so this person says. And it seems like the person that he was with also not exactly willing to listen to reason. And he transforms immediately. That's not good. And not liking the look of this either, myself. In the meantime, Maclaw of Mercia, I don't need. South, you're coming in because, as mentioned by what's her name? As mentioned by Sigrun, there are items hidden in the sand. I believe it is a luck percentage chance in this game. It might be dictated by your skill, I'm not sure. But thieves have a 100% chance to unearth all items that are hidden in the sand. Now, because I want to get the items hidden in the sand, I'm going to forgo any bonus experience, as you gain extra bonus experience for everybody left alive. And if you can make it through the entire chapter, which generally means that you have to have a flying unit, and just kill Muarim, who's the boss, as the goal is to defeat the boss, you will gain a buttload of bonus experience, like well over 500 bonus experience. Maybe you get like 700 or some odd bonus experience. It's a lot. Meanwhile, desert chapter. Oddly enough, I want I want Ileana to go up front because she is going to be dealing with most of these people. And I brought wind tomes because these guys all have quite a lot as their flyers out here. Flying units, as mentioned earlier, they are all weak to wind tomes, as Soren described back in the Hawk chapter. Magic units basically are the only units that suffer 0 penalties to any of their movement stats. In the meantime, I think I'll have it sorted like this, with Braum and the sharp stick going this way, and the others going up here. Also of note, if you plan on killing Laguz, make sure that they're transformed, otherwise you gain less experience. I am foregoing a lot of bonus experience for my plan, but it'll work out, I'm sure. Also, Volk. Get back over here, in particular. I just remembered I should have done that. But I think with all that shenanigans out of the way, I'll see you guys in the next part. Thank you for watching, everybody. Please hit the like, comment, and subscribe buttons, as well as hit the notification bell to stay up to date. The next part is in the description, or it should be on screen right now. I'll see you for the battle in the next part.